I know you're not a superhero guy, but you have Spider-Man's powers, right? That's
Okay.
it. You're the best athlete. You can bench press
And
a
his
car, and you have the suit if you need it. But
I don't have the
shoot,
body for that.
You do.
Then you just get his powers, which is super
Yeah.
strength and just unexplainable agility, athletic ability, dexterity, etc.
Okay.
What do you do with this power?
Do I have does Spider-Man have web power, or is that a machine?
It actually varies by Spider-Man. But for the purpose of this, you have web power.
Okay. I keep the web power stuff 100% under wraps. Don't let anybody know about that stuff, because if people realize that, they're not going to trust anything else. And then I would really just pick whatever sport I wanted to dominate in. And for me, I love hockey, so I would be the greatest NHL player in history.
Ever.
I could be the best goalie. Yep. My save percentage, I would have to every so often let goals in to make it seem reasonable.
No, fuck it, blow them out of the water. You'd be the highest scoring goalie of all time, because you'd leave the net a lot. You would play offense with your team.
In goalie
you would always be playing. The net would always be empty. You'd be over there playing. No, you wouldn't use goalie equipment. You'd be light. We'd be the bare minimum. Whatever's the
have to wear
least
goalie
they'll let you
equipment,
wear.
Taylor?
You would have to wear a form of it, but I bet I could wear like super small, lean pads. And, the goalie can't carry the puck past the middle line.
There'd be commercials about how your pads are, how we always
your
go on
slap
about
shots
Brock
could
Lesnar's
score
gloves?
from half ice.
Oh, yeah. I just play with a right-handed stick so I can fire slap shots from a little beyond center ice. Dude, you're right. Why am I limiting myself to one position? I should be a forward who moonlights as a goalie when necessary.
You play a man up. We
play the whole game with the goalie pulled.
You should play whatever position you feel like that day. Like,
because I'm the coach also.
Taylor, what is the record for consecutive shutouts? Because that should be your rookie debut.
Oh yeah,
you should just lead with like 11 shutouts.
Dude, if I started my career with 25 shutouts in a row, there'd be like an FBI investigation. There'd be there's no fucking way.
So here's a little fun thought: the fact that we all come up with the same conclusion about what we would do with any sort of superhuman powers is that we'd use them for our own financial gain. Who's to say? No, hang on. Who's to say that there aren't among us a few superhumans, and they went, and their dad was like, son, you can bend steel bars. You can jump over the barn. You killed the bull last week with a punch. You know what you've got to do. He's like, fight crime? No.
You're starting safety
Finish
for the
college.
Chicago or for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. You're going to ball, son. You're going to ball hard.
What's your favorite sport? What's your favorite position? Anything. Pick it. Just whatever you want to be the best home run dinger swinger ever.
Soccer or
basketball.
Baseball. You might be right about basketball because they get the shoe
endorsements. Yeah,
because baseball players get the contracts.
Soccer, tennis. Tennis players make so much fucking money. Like those top, like Nadal.
Spider-Man would be so good at tennis.
You can
be
do
tremendous
both.
at tennis.
You can play one, and they have.
I like the idea of being a wide receiver and having really sticky hands, catching balls that are 6 inches out of reach and just bringing them back.
You'd get caught. You'd quickly they'd slow-mo and draw a yellow highlighter around the
You're 100% right. I would get caught. I don't know.
It came to me.
They already let you basically put glue on your hands. Like those gloves that they're using are so designed to stick. They wouldn't stick to a table if you stuck them on there, or they don't stick to you, but they're designed to stick to those balls. I watched a whole thing about it the other day about how they used to use that crazy stick 'em or something. Mm-hmm. They showed those pictures, black and white pictures of football players on the sidelines, and they're covered with this cartoon-like glue.
Used to get all over their uniforms.
Yeah, they're covered in it. The whole reason they outlawed it wasn't, hey, it's not fair, you're making too many catches. It was look, absurd. Everything's sticky. You gotta stop.
Like those baseballs from 120 years ago where they're just jet black because they have so much tobacco spit rubbed into them and
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those disgusting spitballs. Yeah, sports have changed a lot, I guess, over the years.
Baseball.
We were just saying before the show that my version of 4v4 basketball should be implemented. It would just be a better sport. And
where they have knives.
5 is too many. Yeah, and knives. Yeah, 4v4 knives.
They need to either make basketball 4v4 or make the court bigger to force people to have to actually run.
I've wondered if making them nets higher would be good, right?
Nets higher, court bigger.
But that make dunking really impressive.
And
would
smaller.
Make
it
impressive
smaller too. Make the three harder.
There's something to be said for watching them do like ridiculous, making it look easy, doing the ridiculous athletic stuff that they wouldn't pull off on a higher net.
Let me ask you this. Is there a guy in every game who can make plays like that look easy? I think the answer is yes. There's one on every team, right?
A couple.
So is it really that special? Like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like 3 guys in the fucking world who could dunk and make it look slick? Be like, oh shit, here he comes.
It would look like the 50s game.
There's not a guy out there who can't dunk. Like even I bet the shortest, least athletic NBA player can dunk in a cool way. He's not doing that silly double-handed white man dunk. He can do a cool dunk. So I'm saying it's not impressive anymore. I don't care that you can dunk. I can dunk on the fucking 8-foot goal in my backyard, dude. Like, maybe I can't spin, but I'm not getting paid to watch either. like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not impressed. Put that thing up 12.5 feet tall. Make that court 25% bigger in every dimension. And now let's play. Let's see what you can do. And make the goal, whatever you call it, the rim, smaller. Make the ball barely fit. Make it hard as fuck to sink a three.
Grab it from a carnival.
Make goaltending.
Don't make it impossible, but make it hard.
You know what I think? Easy. I think goaltending should be legal for your own team. I think that would lead to some fun plays. Like if I could just put it. So right now, if the ball's on the downward trajectory, you can't touch it. And if the ball's in the cylinder, I think I have my rules right. If the ball's in the cylinder that the rim creates, like an imaginary cylinder, you can't touch it in there. It has to like bounce out of it for you to get it, or it has to be in an upward trajectory.
I understand.
I think it'd be cool if same team could touch it on the downward trajectory. Then it would be all kinds of like
alley
assists, ollie oops, like, wacky sort of teamwork plays that would be fun to see.
I bet it breaks the game with people that athletic. I bet, again, if a bunch of us are out and like that's the new rule, it's like, oh, it's a silly version. It's a lot more fun and exciting. But I bet when you take those super athletes who do it for a living and get paid $50 million a year or whatever to do it, they find a way to make that break the fucking game in a way that
like,
can't
let's
watch
say
anymore.
I shoot a 3-point shot. Now you're athletic guy under the net. You get to decide whether you want to see if my 3 falls or turn it into a 2 by touching it yourself. And I wonder, like, we start moneyballing that and seeing how this game develops.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm just gonna keep my white stupid ideas to myself and watch MMA because that's what I should do.
Never say that, Kyle. Let those stupid ideas fly. I love it. And you know what? What's funny is like people will leave comments mad about like talking about basketball like this. The Taylor doesn't know anything about that sport. That's true. No. That's a fact. I don't know anything about basketball.
I'm just trying to give you a way to make your sport interesting enough that I would care to learn. Like your sport fucking blows. The most here's how I know your sport blows. What's the percentage like every time you go down the court, how often is it a score versus the defense making a save? I'll call it. Like how often is the offense successful when they go down the court?
More often
42%.
Really? Like they score. The defense wins more than they lose in basketball.
Sounds right. Well, no, I'm going by shooting percentages, and I'm not counting offensive rebounds and such. Maybe it's higher than that. Yeah,
with offensive rebounds, it's got. I would guess that it's 75+% of the time. I would think it's even higher than that. It seems like every time you go down the court, that if the defense makes a stop, it's like, oh, all right, let's go. It's like a shock.
Not as someone who doesn't watch basketball, like I'll see a highlight and it looks like there's a rule of like, oh, one person on each team is the designated can't play defense guy, legally not allowed to play against the rules. That guy can't play defense. Like that's what it looks like because you'll see like clearly the lower tier players like kind of jog it up, and then you'll see someone who like has nothing but job security like on their phone.
I played
like just walking back to the
I played basketball on this Pee-wee
on
league.
Their phone.
And I remember playing Pee-wee basketball, and then the guy boop, boop, blew the whistle. I had the ball. I was trying to go score. I was like, what is it? Game stop. He's traveling. You took 2.5 or 3 steps or something without bouncing the ball. And I was like, but I had it. Like I was doing and I didn't mean to. And yeah, you can't run with the ball, Kyle. And I didn't know. They run with the ball every fucking night in the NBA. You turn on fucking TV, they're running around with that thing like it's football at this point.
I'm not an expert on this, but I saw a YouTube video that really demonstrated how traveling works, and it has changed, like Kyle said. In the 50s, all those players super unathletic, they're dribbling like an elementary school kid, right? Well, that was the rule. You could only touch the top of the ball. You couldn't do this like hold it from the bottom, carry side to side stuff. And I don't know if they changed the rules or changed the enforcement of the rules, but now the kind of handles that a basketball player is allowed to have and how he holds it from the side, and you can just do a lot more with the ball than you could in the 50s. So obviously there's super athletes, maybe the best athletes in
ball's
sports,
too small as well. The ball needs to be bigger.
But so they're better athletes, but also the enforcement's different, and that's part of why basketball's gotten so flashy.
That's the other thing I would do. Instead of making the rim smaller, I would make the ball bigger. That's what needs to be done. The ball's way too small.
Make it
heavier.
Like when you're a kid trying to play ball and you're trying to like just do some of the things that you can do when you can hold the ball with one hand. Like if you ever watch somebody like they've like got it like put out over here, they're holding the goddamn ball and they're like analyzing the defense real quick. And
like it's a tennis ball.
Yeah, they're all right. Well, the ball's over here, fucker. You stay over there. I have nothing to think about because all your buddies are over there. All right, I figured this out, and the ball's here, and here we go. Like now I've got a plan. Like, fuck that. Fuck being able to do that, dude.
I can't do that even.
Clearly,
slightly.
the ball's too fucking small for your gigantic mitts. Like,
it should be such a big ball that it's hazardous.
And heavy.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I went too far.
There should be knockouts every game.
Should be you know what? Add fighting. See if that pans out.
I'm just trying to find a way.
Not even fighting, just checking.
Make the sport interesting to me. But if it just seems awful to me. I don't get it. I try to watch. I've watched some NFL recently, and I've gotten more into that because that's like cool to watch. It's fun. I think it's a much better sport. I don't like NFL players.
Downtime.
I don't mind that.
Oh, I do mind that. I get that's what I hated most about
played for an hour, but you're there for 3.
In middle school, like I only played football for 2 years in middle school, and it was up there with baseball as far as like the most boring sport to be playing, because it was, I'm running out for a pass. I'm not going to get a pass because I'm 13, and so it's like everything felt like a drill. Like it's like, oh, you just get to rehearse this again. Either. And then you get to come back and get in the huddle, and then the QB is going to go, we're going to hand it to the fast kid again. Run out again. And it's like, this sucks. This is not fun. Like, I don't even feel like I'm part of the team. I don't feel like I'm helping half the time.
In football, how long do you think they play? Like, I know the clock is 60 minutes.
Oh, I bet 15 minutes.
That's not a bad guess. I feel like they run a 6-second play, and then they wait a minute before the next play, and the clock's just running and running.
Yeah. And
15 minutes is a good bet.
I bet about 15 minutes. Like, what is it? How many? I don't even know. How long are the quarters in football? 15 minutes?
4 15-minute quarters, yeah.
4 15 minutes? Okay. And then, yeah, it's got to be around 15 minutes. Because every time I see football, like at a friend's house, all the time is going away, like in between plays, seemingly.
Have you played soccer as an adult?
No, I feel like that'd be embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. Like this isn't even recent. Like I'm 49. So this is probably 20 years ago I played soccer. and I'm like, good God, like how much cardio does this fucking game take? And there's nowhere to hide. Ball goes that way, you got to run that way. Ball goes that way, you got to run that way. You can't coast on your skates across the ice. You like just take 4 good strides and be like, I'll get there when I get there. That doesn't exist in soccer. You have to earn every goddamn step.
And everybody else is in great shape.
Yes.
And so like you have to soccer is like, I would rather watch soccer than probably football or basketball. Like the flow of the game I like more. Like it's always kind of active. The flopping fucking sucks. It's really embarrassing to like, I think like Europeans and like I guess the rest of the world would be like, that's just part of the game. They do that. And it's like, but I think in America, like it's so drilled into our sports culture, like the flopping, particularly in hockey, that like you see that and it's like, but the ref knows you're faking, you're faking, the viewer knows we're faking, the announcer knows you're faking, both coaches know you're faking. What's happening? Like what are we doing here? What is this performance? Like
There's really no right. Yeah. What is it called? Embellishment.
It's called embellishment. Yeah, it's a 2-minute. So if in hockey, if Woody hits me with a cross check into the boards, and instead of getting a normal amount of hurt, I go like, ooh, like on the ground a little bit, the ref will be like, Woody, you're out for 5, and Pussy, you're out for 2. Like because it's called embellishment. Oh, Taylor fell way harder than he had to, and like was looking to the ref for attention. That's 2 minutes for embellishment.
Woody delivered a check that probably shouldn't have knocked anyone over, but Taylor fell.
Yeah,
you might get the only penalty.
Yeah, I think it's rare that they'll call an embellishment on its own. You have to really flounder around like a lunatic, and like if it's a real bad one, they'll fine you for it. So it'll be like so and so fined $3,000 for embellishment, and it's like just a shaming tactic so that their name is now in there with the history of. So now they can go, oh, you get cross checked. History of embellishment, buddy. Like, and so then once you have a history of embellishment, someone can, take the stick to your ankle and everyone's going to be like, yeah, but did it really hurt that bad? Because you act like you get shot all the time. Like PK Subban, he used to do that a good bit. And then eventually people realized like the ref stopped giving him calls. Even when it was like genuinely somebody fucking with him, they wouldn't give him the call.